Next Radio.
All right, everybody, welcome to this Monday edition of the Leadership Blend. It's been, I swear, 5 months since we've been with everybody, so we are happy to be back. And we have a full studio, so starting to my right, we have...
Just Jazz.
Kyle Andrew.
Simone Cherie.
Double R.
Nasia.
All right, so y'all know how we go. We have the internship program here at the station. So we have a newbie in the studio, and I'm feeling generous, so I'm not really throwing her in there, even though everybody else is trying to. So I'm going to let her introduce herself. So tell everyone your name and tell them about where you've been, all that good stuff.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nasia. I'm interning here this summer from Illinois State University. Background in TV production, multimedia journalist, and news photography. So, yeah, that's me.
All right, so we're going to jump right in because we are behind. So we're going to jump right into. So, Simone, what do we have on the rundown?
Yes. And just a warning, the Leadership Blend discusses content which may not be appropriate for some audiences. Views expressed do only belong to their respective hosts and not IBNX Radio Network. So, we've been gone for a while. A lot has transpired. Kicking it off with politics-related content. So, 2020 is obviously in full swing. I think we have finally closed the house on new candidates from the Democratic Party. There was one in the last month, so now there's 24. But I think we may be good at 24 because it's been a week, and nobody else has popped up.
Ricardo said he running.
Yeah, but I haven't seen your platform yet, Ricardo.
Ricardo for president.
I'm creating a whole new political party called the Rices. So that I'm running on that ticket. So there you go. I will be the 25th. I'm running on the Rices political party. We stand for everything I stand for. There you go.
But as qualified as everybody else, I think, at this point. I think we're good to go.
Thanks.
I want us to talk about 2020, obviously, about the presidential race, how that's shaping up. There have been a lot of incidences that are not so pleasant. So there was 2 major mass shootings recently, and the Supreme Court just made a judgment about guns, which I think we can debate a little bit because I already know one of our co-hosts is on the all wrong side of this issue.
Nope, I just said I wanted a silencer. I didn't say I agree with the strike down.
Then there's also a gentleman who set himself on fire. I want us to talk about protests and the state of protesting in America and what it really takes to get lawmakers attention. Okay, so as far as polling goes, we know we have a very big field, but there have always been about 6 candidates at the top of that field, and now the spread is getting thinner and thinner. So Biden is still number 1. He's right now at 24%. He's leading the pack, but there's a very close second with, second and third. Bernie Sanders, our senator from Vermont. And Ricardo's old favorite is 16%.
Hey, who was that?
Sanders.
Bernie.
I am still Team Bernster.
I'm sure.
So I'm still with the Bernster.
He's in there. He's in there. But he has somebody on his heels. So Elizabeth Warren, Senator Elizabeth Warren is at 15%, which is the closest she's ever been.
Oh, wow.
And then Buttigieg. So Kamala's 5th. So Buttigieg is at 12%. And Kamala Harris is barely in the double digits. Some say 7%. She's between 7 and 10%. Booker is not in the top 5 anymore. He's been trailing for a while. Y'all know he's been trailing.
Well, I mean, if he'd come there, because now Booker and Buttigieg were here in Atlanta, which I was supposed to be on site, but something happened. I couldn't because I had the media credentials and everything. I didn't hear anything about Booker. So that's not, in Atlanta, that's not good. If you don't leave a lasting impression and people aren't talking about it and there's not a buzz around the city, you're in trouble. And I didn't hear any buzz about him.
It was like a day.
I didn't hear anything about that day.
That was for both of them because the town halls was weak. Like, you just came here. You basically came here to tell people what you're running on, which we kind of already knew what you were running on, Corey.
It was clearly running on empty. 5 miles empty because he don't have no kind of momentum.
Yeah, but he has
momentum is everything.
He lost momentum as soon as like Joe jumped in. It was like whatever you thought you had, you don't got that no more.
I mean, I guess that's the question. Are we really that into Biden? Is everybody really
still
that
number one? He's still number one.
Yes.
And he gets attacked the most too, but even though he's getting attacked, he's still on top of the headline.
He's still
and like it's about keeping attention. Lit. So,
but I told you, his criticisms are not criticisms that are new. The touchy-feely guy, the super close guy, the guy that whispers in people's ears. the more stories that come out, you hear more people saying, "Nah, he been like that."
But so listen to his most recent criticism, because he got some flack for hugging people, so we know
we still doing that.
But his most recent criticism is about the Hyde Amendment, because abortion was polled as a number one issue because there's more and more states releasing anti-abortion bills. So abortion was listed as a number one issue out of Iowa during the big Iowa caucus, and Joe Biden was on the against side of what's called the Hyde Amendment, which basically made federal funding for abortion illegal. So it became something states had to take care of, sometimes nonprofit organizations, other organizations take care of, or your private insurance. But he took basically the federal government's money out of abortion, which made abortion very hard to get for a lot of people, especially if you live in a state like a Georgia or like a Missouri. Missouri, for example, only had one abortion clinic, period. So a lot of states, even though abortion was legal, did not have easy access to abortion, and the federal money for abortion made them much more attainable. So he's responsible for making abortion harder to get, and he's had to answer for that this past week.
He wasn't the only person on that.
He wasn't, but out of the candidates that are there now, so like Kamala Harris, she didn't have anything to do with that. She wasn't there. She wasn't in the field at that time. Senator Elizabeth Warren, again, her name wasn't affiliated with that. Sanders was not on. He was on the opposite side at the time. I think right now it's basically going to come down to Biden being somebody we know, right? Somebody we associate with President Obama, who I'm sure if everyone could vote would be their number one.
And he's
got that. But he's not as liberal as the party is going right now, and as people are trying to move right now. Like Elizabeth Warren's talking about free college, free health care.
Which I'm not. Look, Elizabeth, I'm not
reparations. I mean, there's the left side of the
gotta get into that
fence
too.
is getting more and more radical.
Well, no, but that's
Biden's not really with that.
I told you we needed a middle candidate, somebody that could be in the middle and stay in the middle and say middle things. And that's what he is.
But do we?
He's not too left and he's not too right. But he has a history unlike Bernie, who's been in politics 40 years and passed one bill. He's been a part of things.
But the world is changing though to where what he has to say is more.
I know that's your man. That's your man.
Get off Bernie.
How Kamala passed more bills than Bernie?
Look, Bernie finally got them to give people $15 an hour. Let's not forget that, people.
In 2021.
And the ideology. So what? He got it done.
He gonna be
dead. As far as Biden go, here's my question about Biden. Now, this is where you see the adverse on VPs. So you have Pence over here that everybody's scared of, that he's a hidden devil, and then you got Biden over here that everybody likes because he's a wingman. Do we really like Biden because of who he is, or do we like Biden because he reminds us of the Obama era?
I think both.
I
think both.
He reminds people of Obama. That's the closest thing we're gonna get. That's what I think.
I think that's what that boils down to. So is anybody really listening to what Biden is saying?
Biden is similar. He's tall.
No, go ahead.
The last time we seen a president that was tall,
attractive,
and people call him attractive. He was funny. He had charisma. He had character. The last time we seen that was Clinton. Look at what we got since Clinton. We got a short dude.
George wasn't ugly.
He wasn't. He
wasn't. He really wasn't.
We got George. And then we got Obama, who was like a breath of fresh air.
And he was
and
black.
Now we got this round orange in office.
But he's also very tall, which there is something to be said about how tall the president. Oh yeah, he's
like 6'4".
He's big.
He's shorter than Joe.
His shape makes him look.
Trump looks short because a lot of the people that he's standing around are tall.
Yeah,
it's not like it.
No, he's round.
And he's fat too, so it look weird.
But so anyway, looks aside, looks do matter. But Joe Biden is very smooth. I feel like he's smooth. I feel like he makes people comfortable.
I feel like he plays saxophone on the low. I feel like he is Bill Clinton.
I was about to say, so now he Clinton again. That's what you're saying, because Clinton plays saxophone.
I get that.
But he also gives us a sense that he knows politics, and we didn't get that with Trump. We got that with Hillary, but she wasn't as likable as him. Like and that's a criticism for Hillary. We love your husband. You cool though.
So do we think Elizabeth Warren is likable? Is she more likable than Hillary?
No, I think
any more likable?
The reason I will give Warren props is she knows how to play the game. So she's saying every time a new headline comes out, well, I'm for that headline.
She's
I'm gonna wipe away student loan debt, even though she knows as well as I do, that's not gonna happen.
Elizabeth has a more inviting face.
And I can get struck by lightning in the same place 3 times.
She has an inviting face because she wears glasses. A lot of people won't say like
you
that's
just said that because you wear glasses. That is not me.
No, if you look at a picture of Elizabeth Warren next to a picture of Hillary Clinton has like an intimidating face. Like she looks like, no, I'm here for business and we're not making no jokes.
True.
And Elizabeth is like, no, we fun, but we're going to discuss things.
I don't get fun from Elizabeth.
They're saying her new slogan is, I have a plan for that. Because with every
that's what it should be.
Popping them out. She's working.
That's what it should be.
Knock her
she got to stop with this free college. You gotta stop.
Well, look,
but that's
working.
your man's too. Who? Bernie.
Now Bernie might come up. If Bernie can give people 15, everybody. I don't put nothing past Bernie. He got them 15 when nobody else could. I don't put nothing past Bernie.
But if he keep going on that, what he's going to have to do is adopt somebody. If he wins, then he's going to have to adopt somebody as a running mate.
That's fine. We still got plenty. Somebody.
Do you think Kamala will be a VP?
No. Here's my thing.
No.
Whoever wins the nomination. No. Whoever wins the nomination is gonna pick up Stacey Abrams. I'm just saying.
You really think so?
Yeah, I really do.
What is she doing then?
It doesn't matter what she's done.
I really don't need her to be on vacation for the next year and then just get to be VP. That's not fair.
Stacey has cool points for at least a good year because everybody knows she got swindled a year. Because everybody knows she's the darling. She is the darling child of rigged elections. She has a golden pass for at least a good year. Anybody is going to pick Stacey Abrams to be their VP.
Man, I need to get screwed over. I need to get screwed over.
I'm just telling you.
I think out of this group of candidates, I wouldn't be surprised if he picked Buttigieg. And you want to know why? You want to know why? Nobody has tapped in to that culture,
the LGBT.
Even he's not really.
And he not even the main face.
And it's Pride Month.
People like him, but his politics. He's another one of those dudes. Like he like over there. You can't be over here.
He's trying to be more than just a representative of his community.
Because a lot of people got it twisted. A lot of LGBTQ community, they got money.
Oh yeah, that's what
they not trying to hear that free with that money. Free. Hold on, how we gonna make money though? Well, no, free.
But in a perfect world, this is how you know that the dynamics of the election has changed. Because in a perfect world, Buttigieg would be the prime candidate, and he's already a mayor.
And he would.
He already knows how to run a state. He in a perfect world, he would be the prime candidate. Because we don't live in a perfect world, and now there's so many other expectations we have that you have to be on social media, that you have to tweet, that you have to be able to hold conversations, that people have to like you, that I want to have a beer with you.
Well, we know who the perfect candidate would be.
Who?
It would be Governor Weld on the Republican side. Who? Just to cover.
He's a look.
Wait, there's Republicans running. There's Republicans running.
I'm gonna ignore that because it was.
Now look. He is a good candidate. The Republican side does not have the eyes right now. Nobody's looking.
I understand, and I think he shouldn't have run as a Republican because Bernie is an independent. But so this is what happens when you're not one of the two major parties. You pick one, right? So Bernie is an independent technically, but he's running as a Republican. You know, this is just what people feel they have to do.
But was he independent?
I mean, he's running
was Wells independent before this?
He was a libertarian. He's always been a libertarian.
So why not just run as a libertarian?
Because the party system is rigged. It is rigged. I'm not going to get on my soapbox, but it's rigged.
Please.
It's impossible to run unless you're a Democrat or Republican and get any sort of like national seat. It's just impossible. So
okay, here's a quick tidbit because you just threw out a name that none of us knew because nobody knows anybody that's running the Republican side.
I heard the name, but he's a Republican.
Yeah, he's
not a Republican, but he's running as a Republican. And right now we know
and he's been a vocal critic of Trump from day one and will always.
And apparently he ran for vice president on the Libertarian Party ticket in 2016. He's presenting himself as a voice for alienated moderates and mainstream conservatives.
He certainly is because he believes that weed should be legal, prostitution should be legal, that you shouldn't need a license to make your own money in this country, that you don't need this or that or that or this. Okay, so
he Trump age.
So, he look funny looking though.
Warren is 70.
Who?
Warren is 70 years old. They're all old.
That's about right.
So anyway, he knows what he's talking about.
Who you ask?
She looks good for her age, considering
she does.
Being 70.
And secondly, it's this.
Y'all are a hot mess.
No, because this still darker than her. So.
Still in the might run section is Howard Schultz, who's the former chief executive of Starbucks. He's still in the might run section.
Wait, run that back.
He's the former CEO of Starbucks. Howard Schultz. He's in the might run category. This is coming out of the New York Times.
Remember that branding story?
Wait, is this guy new? Eric Swalwell? Is he new?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
he's new.
well,
And
yeah.
Kasich may run again. He's running
38.
for. That's young.
Yeah, he's.
That would be
38.
nice.
It's a bunch of young.
Don't you think
like,
young would be nice? Like
Andy
people
Yang.
love that Obama was relatively young. People
Andy
love
Yang
that.
is like 40.
He's 44.
Yeah, but 38 young. That's young.
How much younger is 38 than 44?
That's how old Obama was.
40.
No, Obama
No,
was older than
Obama
that.
was 40. Yeah, he was 44.
44 when he announced.
He was 44.
So he got.
Because he only 52.
Yeah, he's young. They're
Yeah,
all,
but 38 is young.
Young
I
is
don't know if I
good.
want a 38 year
And Michelle
That's
older than
only
him, and
2
she
years
looked like
behind
that.
you,
That's
so you
crazy.
don't want somebody your age to run.
First of all, what you're not about to do is put my business out there.
First of all, you announce it every time on the show.
Let me
You do
stop
that
this.
every time.
I can do it. I can do it every week. I can do it
Every week. I'm 40.
I
You
can
always do
every
that.
week.
So
You
let's
want to
not act
quickest way to get
like
fired right there, Jeff.
That's
Quickest way to get fired. I mean,
Ricardo, what's wrong with 38 if Trump is 70 something?
you don't
It
see.
can't
You don't see the age.
Can't be
difference,
more
like 40.
juvenile. Can't be more juvenile than Donald Trump.
Well, this boy like he should be on some TV show. I don't know if I want him running the country.
What's his name?
Trump was on a TV
Eric
show.
Swalwell. No, he ran a TV show.
Wow.
Like,
He was
I
on
sit
a
it.
TV show.
It was his.
Is that not more reputable than just being the star of a TV show?
What I'm
That you
saying, this
run a
guy,
TV
this
show?
Eric boy, like he should be on a TV show like Survivor or something. I don't know if I want him running the country.
What's the matter with this man being on
He
TV?
might have been on
I mean,
Survivor.
on the
And Elizabeth Warren is 69.
That's
She's
like
70.
This says 69.
When her birthday?
70.
When her birthday?
We're
I don't
rounding.
know. I'm looking at her picture. She does not look inviting. She looks
Y'all
weird.
should be looking at the zodiacs of these folk. But anyway, so
What?
I just think
Oh, a good old Bernie.
Stars
Brings
do,
me joy to
stars
get
do not
Bernie.
make. Hey, look.
Look.
People better stop getting it twisted.
But you
Every
would-
single sign shares the same traits. You just say them different.
No.
No.
Yes.
No.
Nah.
Yeah, hey, look.
Taurus
I
gang.
studied.
So what about old Beto?
Beto O'Rourke. Okay, so Beto has been falling in the polls steadily.
Yeah.
Beto has been
So it's-
falling in the
so it's
polls
Corey.
behind Corey.
Really?
Behind
Yes.
Corey for the last couple weeks.
That's interesting because at one time he was the one going toe to
He
toe with
was.
Trump.
He was going toe to
down
toe.
in Texas.
Well, yeah, but he was going toe to toe with Buttigieg at first. Like they were very close. I feel like people tend to knock other people out. Here's how I look at this. I feel like you're not gonna have Warren and Sanders because the both of them literally believe in the exact same things. I think you're gonna have one or the other. I don't think you're ever gonna have Kamala and Booker.
Oh no,
You're gonna have one or the other. So I feel like with Beto and Mayor Pete won. They were too similar in age, too similar in energy. I just feel like they both knocked each other out.
And that's the reason why, like with a lot of even the people that's coming in on the Democratic side, this is the part, like the next 2 months, 3 months going into the fall. This is where we got to really pay attention, because if you paid attention to people like in the 3%, 4%, Andy Wang, the other
I mean, Yang.
he's trending,
Technically.
but you're going to see a lot of people copy his ideas. He might be one of those dudes, like he might not win, but we're going to bring him in as something. He going to get a job somewhere, because and that's the thing that I'm paying attention to. People copying his rhetoric. Like that's the thing right now. And that's why Joe is still Joe, because you're not hearing Joe say, "Oh, everything should be free." No, that's just Warren and Bernie and Buttigieg.
People want that though. I think y'all are underestimating how much people want free. They want free college. They want
But
free this and free
it
that.
don't work like
But
that
they don't
here.
know. But here's the thing. Listen, you sound like a redneck. It don't work like that.
I'm just think about it.
I
Think
know
about
that.
it. When you cut 70% of food stamps because you say that we broke, what make you think that we're going to give everybody free college?
Listen, because people on the left believe that this wealth gap is unsustainable. Like inflation's going too high, wages are too flat, rent's going up through the roof, colleges through the roof, healthcare's through the roof. Nobody's really getting paid more money on like a huge scale. So they really believe we need to reform this whole system and bail everybody out.
It don't.
They think we need to give everybody a bailout because we're in too deep over our heads.
But
so that's what they see. They don't see us ever fixing this situation. They think we just need to subsidize it and quit trying to act like people can earn their way out of their situation. I'm not sponsoring this view, but this is the view. And
I was saying the way you're saying.
I'm not promoting
disdain.
it. I'm not promoting it, but people on the left, like Democrats, are really liberal. Like that's the thing. Double R is like there's less and less moderates. There's less and less independents. People are getting more and more liberal. Like ban all the guns, free all the,
no.
That's where it's going.
Well, actually, but let's
So
stay
look.
in that what that you just said, though. I mean, that whole synopsis that you just said, that is not a far-fetched synopsis. That because everything it keeps shooting up,
Yeah.
can the middle class really dig their
Yeah,
way out of
really.
this? I'm starting.
When they're just
to
getting
less
older
less.
and older and older.
Yeah,
I
This
don't know
is
if they can.
America. America
we've done it
is
before.
going
The New
into-
Deal, like we've done this before.
We have, but America is being it has always been structured to rich and poor. It's structured.
It used
way.
to be much more even.
Yeah, that playing.
The
that
middle
playing
class
ground was
used
a
to be
lot
a
more-
third. It used to be really be like a rich third, a middle third, and
Yeah.
a poor third.
Now
it
we're
is.
just leaving. It's
Well,
like half
there is
and
no
half.
because it used to
Yeah.
be wealthy, rich, and moderate, and then there was the middle, which is in between all of that. You got wealthy, rich, moderate, middle class, and then everything else. Now it's like wealthy, middle class,
It's like wealthy poor.
poor.
It's like wealthy poor. The middle
Because
class
they're
is
starting
very
to
small.
eliminate, they're starting to erase that line that was in the middle. They're starting to erase. Like, so this is the math with the college thing. So you got
Everybody
the
get your
billionaire
pencils and
dude
papers.
that came through that paid the Morehouse College, all them kids, average $50,000 tuition. That's $23 million that he had to spend for 423 students. Imagine what you have to do to a school that's twice the size of Morehouse, like Michigan State, and they graduating 1,000 kids. Who gonna pay that? How
The
you gonna make that
taxpayers.
free?
Us.
How?
By increasing our taxes probably from 25 or 30% to 40%.
Then you
Or
gonna tax everybody out
35%.
of where
No,
they sit at.
but everybody, yeah. We're all going to be taxed, all of us, every single
Which
one.
segues me to what I was looking at
or
this
you
weekend.
could just tax Amazon. Just tax it one time.
Big buy. Amazon's created so many more jobs.
Look, I agree.
Facebook.
Hold on, I agree with you.
No, do not
Look,
play.
I agree.
Do not play.
I agree with you. But think about it like this: you paid taxes this year. You pay more taxes than Amazon. Every year since
Facts.
Amazon has been Amazon.
Amazon gets credits and deductions for the jobs that they create for taxes.
That-
For one
that
thing,
cool.
Amazon has already done
But-
public
but
service
even if you-
by allowing
if your
everybody
employees-
to earn $15 an hour.
how your
Second of all,
how your employees pay more taxes than you?
does not start until
Facebook has
2021.
just put a roof over millions of teachers' heads. Literally,
What?
Facebook has
How?
an entire
Wait a
community
minute.
arm where they house teachers. They spent over $3 million alone, like this past year, putting people in houses.
I
they
wanna
couldn't
see what
otherwise
these
afford.
houses are.
Google it. Facebook.com/Facebook community.
God, you're such an
Facebook.com/FB
advocate.
community.
But their
You need to share
employees,
Facebook.
the employees at
do,
Amazon
Mark. You
pay
need to
more
share
taxes
Facebook.
than Amazon. They don't even make a third of the money. They don't make a quarter of the money that Amazon make, and they pay more taxes than Amazon. If Amazon gave up 2%,
Taxes pass through. This is how they
2%.
work. If you hired me and there was deductions for employing me, you would get deductions from your taxes. Doesn't mean as a person you wouldn't have taxes to pay. It just means as a company that the taxes would be offset because you hired me. So taxes have to pass. They pass through. It doesn't mean that Jeff Bezos don't pay taxes.
But if I made $13 billion, if I took 2% of that, 2%.
you know, he gave away 6%
Oh, here we
in
go.
philanthropy alone this year.
That's
he
could
gave
cool.
away way more money than the government would have done.
I
if they
want to know
imposed
where all this
taxes.
philanthropy dollars went.
Look it up.
He got that
Sustainable
money.
Go to
He gave
Amazon
they
corporate
probably went to the same
responsibility.
school that Kyle went to, them little private schools where they wear little uniforms.
Nothing to do with me.
But the problem is he gave away his money. He didn't give away Amazon's money. He's
He
the
still
owner
gave away
of
more
Amazon.
money. He still would have gave away more money than the corporations would have got because of the tax cuts that Trump imposed. So they wouldn't have had to pay many taxes anyway. He still gave way more away. He gave more away to charity than Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders has made
He got more money
1%.
than Chip. He
One
got
person.
more money.
Put Bernie Sanders
is a multi-millionaire.
and Jeff Bezos on the same category.
And Jeff Bezos is a billionaire.
Okay, he's a millionaire though. If
Nah,
we
more- a lot more
taxed
times than
millionaires as much as we're trying to tax billionaires, we would be okay. We would be out.
I
of
say
it.
tax both of them. Neither one exempt.
And you.
What about me?
Bernie Sanders only gives 1% of his money away to charity. 1%. When the average person with his amount of income gives 10%. The average person in his quote unquote tax bracket.
Bernie's did his job because he made your boy give everybody 15, so he did his due diligence. And
No.
Bernie's like 106.
Stop
We're not
talking
gonna
about
come for
that.
Bernie. He's 106
Why you
years
keep
old.
talking about this $15? It don't go into effect until 2021.
I don't care. It makes everybody happy. It makes everybody feel warm and tingly.
But if I went and got a job, I'm gonna be homeless before 2021.
well, at least by 2021. At least by 2021, you have a little hope. I don't know what to tell you. So which brings me to my next point. So when we talk about all of this, now we're seeing this new thing with homelessness, which I am getting my team to do a documentary on it because it's very near and dear to me because it coincides with what we're talking about, the fact that everything is going up, especially when we start talking about apartments and houses and all that good stuff. So now you see this new thing, which I believe they call it transitional homeless people. These are people who are living in hotels with kids and people who are living in their cars with kids, which is a new thing and it's a real thing. I thought it was
It's
a joke.
not new.
I know, but it's a real thing.
It's rampant.
It's
It's
becoming
real. Like
But that's because in cities like Atlanta, in cities like New York City, in cities like Miami, Florida, Dallas, Texas, Houston, larger cities, you'll find apartments, like the apartments that you live in or the apartments I used to live in. You don't find those in the city where the jobs and the money is and all the track. You don't find that in the city. That means you got to go somewhere. If you don't got the money to afford a car to go somewhere, what make you think I can afford to live in the city?
Yeah. They're just talking about this in San Francisco because of Silicon Valley. And talking about all
they got
the
one of the highest homeless rates in the country.
They do. And they're right now, the city's trying to push for RV measures to let people are living in RVs, like they're living in campers. So the city's trying to push to allow them to stay because businesses and other sorts of business owners, HOA associations, I'm sure, keep telling people to get lost. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because you're parking your big old RV in the middle of the parking lot.
City.
But it's becoming a city thing that the city feels like they need to step in and say, all right, we have to start making spaces for people to live in their cars. Like that's how expensive the housing is. Average apartment's a little over $3,400 a month.
Yeah, it's
average
a community in Utah. They had it when Utah made the playoffs this year. It's a community. So it's a show that comes on Netflix where they show like these community of outcast people. They put them in. It's an abandoned city. About 1 million people in an abandoned city. Ooh. They saying in Utah, like it's about 30,000 people sleeping on this side of the city. So imagine what it's like in California. Imagine what it's like in like people migrate from other parts of the same city to come to this just to go to sleep. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people in your city.
Yeah.
Like Georgia's population 6 million people. If it's 150,000 homeless people in the city, that's bad. The problem is you don't see them in other cities like that. Like you can't go to Monroe where there ain't no sidewalks on your streets and be like, hey, bro, homeless. Nah, it don't work like that. Cause you gotta have a car to live in Monroe. You gotta have a car to live in Greensboro, Valdosta, or Albany. You gotta have a car. You don't have to have a car and live in Atlanta. The only difference between Atlanta and a place like New York or a place like LA is that their transit system run all night.
Right.
So they'll go to sleep on the train.
People do discourage that though. Like they do try to stop you from sleeping on trains. But again, it's more and more signs of income inequality. That's a big issue. I thought it would be the number one issue.
What Bernie gonna do about that? He gave everybody $15.
The same thing Biden's gonna do. You sit there and just try to be cute.
No.
I think that it's crazy. Abortion is now the number one issue for 2020 as of right now. I never would have saw it happening
out of the blue. But I told you it's the birth rate issue. That's why men have an ideology to fix a problem. They don't think about the side effects. All these men got together and said, "Oh my God, they're not having enough babies. What is the immediate thing we can do? Stop them from not having babies. What's the quickest way to do that? Stop them from having abortions." That's all they thought about. We're gonna take a break and when we come back, we'll get more into this and other topics on the Leadership Blend with your host Ricardo D. Rice.
Every day all I do is get mine. They're trying to tell me I'm a bad influence, talking bad about everything I do.
Until I find the day, the only words I know that you. Until I say the only words I know that you. Until I
know you see it, girl. This ain't sitting real good in my soul. Everywhere this little girl goes, she pick up another obstacle. She was my heart. I don't know the tribe or the fall. But by default, she don't think of me. I thought she was an Indian. She be slanging things like a simian. All my life I wanted me an Indian. And now she's far away. But I had to know. Listen, I know you see it, girl. This ain't sitting real good in my soul. Everywhere this little girl goes, she pick up another obstacle. She was my heart. I don't know the tribe or the fall. But by default, she don't think of me. I thought she was an Indian. But she be slanging things like a simian. All my life I wanted me an Indian. and she hit the box. Said he babe, are you down to cheat? He looked in the eye, chivalry. Is he really dead? He pulled out a tip. Jumping right on them. Think it wasn't good to intervene, and I lost her. Lost her to the world and the girls and the posters. Entertained, I died of the pain and the cost her. I ain't mad at me, but it hurt. And I thought she wasn't in it. Now she only worried about the Benjamins. She been looking in my dreams. I swear that eyes on me. Good night and all. I swear that eyes on me. I swear that eyes on me. I swear that eyes on me. I swear that eyes on me.
Until I need you, I need you, I need you. I need to make you see what you mean to me. Until I do, I'm hoping you will know what I need.
I'm in the right direction. I'm meant to ride this ocean, traveling in slow motion, paddling with no question. Early morning with the sun, not yet burning, innocent. I try to be a good son, myself 100%. Oh. I feel it inside. I wanna reach that. It's somewhere inside. I wish I reached that. Skyline, skyline. I wanna reach that skyline. Skyline. I wish I reached that skyline. Skyline, I'm gonna reach that skyline. Skyline. Endless troubles to go through. They're strewn in the city. Daily struggle to be true. Betray authenticity. Poison well around, but still I will take another round or another ride until we take off from the ground. I feel it inside. I wanna reach that. It's somewhere inside. I wish I reached that. Reach that skyline. Skyline. I wanna reach that skyline. Skyline. I wish I reached that skyline. Skyline. I wanna reach that skyline. Skyline.
of doing the same old thing every Wednesday night? Well, don't. Join IBNX radio host Jason Carey every Wednesday night from 8:30 p.m. to 1 a.m. for Wild Wednesday, your midweek turn-up. Wild Wednesday, featuring $5 Long Islands, $3 Jello shots, $2.50 PBR, and food specials. Wild Wednesday, with free arcade games, half-price bowling, and half-price kart racing. Wild Wednesday, featuring award-winning host and entertainer Jason Carey, Mr. Morning Coffee Swig himself, providing the soundtrack and the entertainment all night long, playing your favorite hits of today and yesterday. Wild Wednesday with Jason Carey every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. Free entry for guests over 21 and $10 cover for anyone 20 and below. Wild Wednesday goes down at Andretti Marietta, located at 1255 Roswell Road, Marietta, Georgia. That's 1255 Marietta, Georgia, every Wednesday night. Pull up!
All right, buddy, we are back on this Monday edition of the Leadership Blend with your host, Ricardo D. Rice, and my correspondents.
Just Jazz.
Kyle Andrew.
Simone Shree.
Double R.
Nasia.
All right, so when we left, we were talking about a little bit of everything. So let's go to some interesting stuff. So, Jazz, what you got?
Walmart has a new system where they're going to deliver groceries straight into your fridge. So, yes, this means that a complete stranger will be coming to your fridge to deliver the groceries.
What if I'm not home?
They have a
with the
special
breakdown.
I just had that question.
It was announced on Friday that customers will be able to order groceries online, and then a Walmart worker will drive the food from a nearby store and deliver it to fridges in the customer's kitchens or garages. It's Walmart's latest innovation in the grocery business, which makes up more than half of the company's annual sales. Walmart piloted its new service in New Jersey for 5 months and is ready to expand. The option will be available to more than 1 million customers this fall in Kansas City, Pittsburgh, Vero Beach, Florida. Walmart charges a fee for regular grocery delivery orders, and it did not disclose how much customers will have to pay for the in-home delivery. Customers can purchase groceries online and select a delivery day. Walmart's employees will wear a camera when they enter the customers' homes, allowing shoppers to watch the process live from their phones. Customers won't have to pay for a camera, but they will have to purchase a special door lock. Walmart did not say how much the door lock will cost. So essentially, somebody's going to come into your home. They type in the little code, I guess, on like the little doorknob or whatever. Put your groceries in and leave. And I guess to make you feel a little better so you can know more about this person who's delivering your groceries, they're going to share 3 fun facts.
I see this only being good for older people who can't move.
No, I don't think it's good for them because now I'm scared for their safety.
Well,
I'm scared for their safety.
You do know that they have things like this now. So have you ever heard of WAG?
Who?
The dog walking service.
I saw that.
Yes. They put a lock on your door, and depending on, say if you're out of town with WAG, you can put the lock on your door, leave your keys in that lock, leave a note if you have an alarm, leave your information, and if you're out of town for long periods of time and you need your dog walked for multiple days, they can stay in your house.
You know
I think
what?
this
I
is
know exactly
asking
what
for
you're
trouble. This is
I agree.
asking for something bad to happen.
I agree.
Go to the grocery store. I hate the grocery store, but I'll go if I'm hungry.
Well, I don't buy groceries, so I don't have that problem.
Okay, well, that's not advice.
I'm always out.
He's a Bernie guy. If groceries not free, he don't want
You
them.
have to have been working with Walmart already for at least a year to apply for this.
Oh, a whole year?
Here's the thing. They
A whole
already
year.
have stuff like this. Like they have. Like,
No, do we have some where people actually go in your house and put your groceries up?
It's a little different. It's like first they're in your garage, which they're allowed to do. Like Amazon has a service, right? Well, they have a competitive service. But before this, people could leave stuff in your garage, which is like close to your home.
No. We talking about
it's just
me.
the next step.
No. We talking about you unlocking my front door.
When I get my groceries
trumping yourself
delivered
with your dirty shoes through my carpet to the refrigerator, putting my eggs in the little basket thing, and then leave it. We have hit a whole new low. This is a whole new low.
This right now.
This is a whole new low. Have we really gotten that lazy? That somebody
It's
got
not a question of laziness.
So,
it's a question of convenience.
So let me ask this. So Instacart is going to get the groceries. They're going to shop for you. Then they're going to run over to Walmart and put them in a little box. The Walmart person come in there, drive to your house, unlock your door, trounce through your house to your refrigerator, put up your groceries, and then leave.
Would you feel better if they were making $15 an hour?
Yes.
This is job creation.
Yes.
Right.
I like the idea of you bringing my groceries to me, but I get creeped out when you're in my house.
Well, that's where the camera comes into play, I guess.
Leave it at the door.
I bring people when I get my groceries delivered. There's usually too many of them, and they see me, and so they help. They come in to the house as it is.
They don't put the groceries in your refrigerator. They put them on the counter and walk out.
I'm sure they would if I asked, because
I
tip them.
See, you one of these lazy people that this stuff's being created for.
Convenience.
No, convenience means you're knocking on your door and putting them in your hand. Convenience is not me knocking on your door, walking past you to get to the refrigerator to make the microphone.
Hey, so look,
Just my next
From experience, because I do DoorDash. I do DoorDash. I do those Walmart pickups where sometimes
I do DoorDash too, but
you got to go and need folk house sometime.
Okay, I don't do that.
I went up in the lady house one time and she, can you help me put these groceries up? Real talk, she had 236 items. No. No.
Okay, but see, here's what you be signing up for. So people doing
she had
what
a deep freezer. She was like, "Can you put this?" She had about 4 slabs of meat. I'm like, "Look, July 4th ain't till next month."
All right, what you not gonna do?
What is you preparing for?
Again, the point is, I ring your doorbell and
she ain't tip me.
Oh, she didn't. That's the problem
because you didn't help her.
Facts.
I did help, and she still didn't tip me. I just didn't want to put stuff in the deep freezer. I didn't want to walk through your house.
I tip.
Well,
again, we talking about somebody walking up to your door, ringing your doorbell. You say hi. They march on past you to your refrigerator and single-handedly put all your groceries
Not necessarily. What it's also is if you're out of town, right? Like sometimes it's inconvenient that I have to be home. It would be great if they could just take care of it. I don't have to worry about when I was going to be home.
I think the question comes
why you buying groceries out of town?
Down if I'm busy, if I'm not going to be home.
No, that's for people that leave the kids home by themselves. So now you got to buy groceries because you left the kids home.
And now your baby on the news.
That's not my baby starving. Look.
This is a whole new level of lazy.
This sounds like a Bernie Sanders.
I don't know why every time there's a new piece of technology, we have to be so skeptical.
Because I'm scared of two things. I'm scared of two things. I'm scared of Daystar from Terminator, and I'm scared of Wall-E with all the fat people rolling around them little chairs, waiting for some plant to come so we can get back on Earth.
America, I just want to say that if all you do is watch the news, you will believe that we are already in Armageddon. And the truth is that the news is the news. The news finds the worst headlines possible, and they create even more worst headlines, and they spread it all around. People, your neighbors, are still decent people. If they were decent people before 2016, then they still are. So don't be that paranoid.
I don't be at my neighbor's house like that, so I don't really know if they decent or not.
But they could be more decent.
I know they yard
clean.
You could be surprised. I know they dog pee on my grass sometimes. Like,
wait, tell me about. I saw that WAG app. So how does that?
Because I was gonna apply for that job. Then I said I had to stay at somebody's house. I was like, no thanks.
So with WAG, you can when.
Are you speaking from experience? You know, you do everything under the sun.
Look, so with WAG,
that's a yes.
There's a lock, so it's a combination lock. They leave that lock on their door. They'll leave a note or send you a text message or email or let you know, like, I need this. Feed my dog at this time. Walk my dog at this time. It's a dog walking app, but for people that take extended leaves from their home. Depending on how long you've done it, depending on your background, like they'll allow you to sit their dog. So you can dog sit, which means that I can either stay at your home or take your dog to my home.
I'm not taking
I think I'd be comfortable with bringing the dog to
my
house.
Don't kidnap my dog. I don't have no dog, but don't kidnap my dog.
How much they pay?
Because it always pops up on Indeed, and it's like you can make a lot.
It's different. I mean,
you can sleep in somebody else's house.
That was the part that was like,
and I'm gonna eat your food, and you gonna have to Walmart when you get home.
Nobody heard of dog sitting. This is as old as Cain and Abel.
When you let somebody dog sit, it's like a friend of the family.
No, I feel like Cain took his dog with him. Like,
what's that website? It's a really popular one where they babysit random people's dogs. It's like a job, just like you would find a tutor by going on one of these websites.
How much they paying though? That's why. How much they paying?
Care.com. Find a babysitter.
Yeah, Care.com is what I'm saying. You know what? Let me look it up because it always pops up.
Maybe like $15.
Oh.
They
got you right there, didn't they? The $15.
I don't know what it is about that $15. Did you really like that $15?
Look, y'all can say whatever you want. Everybody's having America's happy because Bernie got
it's
15.
Innovation. Look, there are people who probably are struggling to find work right now.
You can earn up to $12.50 a month.
Where I sign up at?
There we go.
I walk dogs.
So now can we clap?
All right, Kyle, what you got?
All right, so this week we've been seeing some colorism issue on YouTube. There was this.
What does that mean?
Well, it's just, when you prefer a lighter skin tone than a darker skin tone.
Or if you prefer a darker, technically.
So like YouTube.
Could go either way.
Yeah. Anyway, let me tell a story. So this popular YouTube family called the Prince family on YouTube.
Wait. I'm sorry. Wait. He just sat up here and said like us three as if he's not lighter than you.
Well, I'm just saying when you say colorism. That's not what I said.
Kyle, start over with your whole background.
He always tries.
Kyle caught in the middle because
I'm just looking like
are technically lighter than him. Both.
Yeah, like
all three of y'all got on white. So
yeah, it's kind of y'all like tell the story right now sitting in front of me.
All right, so listen, the Prince family, they just had a baby. They had a baby girl, and the mom Bianca Prince, she's like Simone's color, pretty eyes, things like that.
Simone, you are light skin. Accept it.
What's the story?
So she's got these light green eyes, and she said to her daughter on camera, she was like, "I thought you were gonna have pretty eyes like me." So it's like these light green hazel eyes.
She can buy them. I mean,
like Tiny. That's her name.
Who's
Tiny,
now who basically got a cataract now?
Yeah, but
I thought she was doing better.
Yeah, I don't know. But she got attacked on Twitter because she said that most people with brown colored eyes don't get, compliments saying, "Oh, your eyes are pretty," or "Your eyes are unique," and things like that. So they made a statement on Twitter saying that both of their children are beautiful. She says, "If I was a colorist, why am I dating a black man? Half of my family is black, and I have 3 kids by a black man. That does not make me a colorist." She is light skinned.
She light skinned.
Like this light skinned?
She like
yes,
Simone. She may be lighter than Simone actually.
Yeah.
Simone, how did you get over it?
I just want us to get to the point of the story, and it's me.
But we're trying to get the meat of it. It's like, is she Caucasian or is she like really light?
She's really light.
Yeah, she's just really, really light.
Oh, she real light.
She looks biracial to me.
That's
a relaxer. Is that a relaxer?
I don't know her.
Maybe
She looks biracial.
straight.
No. She looks biracial.
But yeah, I mean that just we're still dealing with this colorism issue in America. Even Matthew Knowles, he said that his daughters get a lot of radio airplay because of colorism.
He didn't say. Well, he admitted that in a negative way. He didn't say like my daughters get radio play.
Yeah, he didn't say it arrogantly.
Like
no, when he said it, when he said it in 2000, he meant it the way it sounded.
Yeah,
he meant it the same way that when the group 3LW, when their lead singer, when the girl that's on Power now, when she said it, like the only reason why we get as much play as we do
because of
Adrian.
Technically, none of her claims have been substantiated.
Who?
None of
Tory Non's. Nothing that she said has been proven. It's all speculation.
No, it's been proven.
No, it hasn't.
The
There's
girl
no
came out and
documentation.
said
I
it.
was like, they was just arguing the other day.
There's no documentation.
She admitted everything on the girl.
Keely Williams,
the one with the list.
That one.
Yeah.
That was on. She's on the talk show with.
Keely Williams said
what's her
that
name?
she said that because she was like that there was discrimination towards her.
Huh?
I've never heard. She never admitted it.
And the other girl, that other dark skinned girl that they picked up in the group and then kicked out of the group right after that, she said the same thing.
I'm saying, is it proven? Like, was it proven that they were discriminated against?
No, it was proven that the people that signed them discriminated against her.
There's no proof for
her
that.
in particular.
That's all I'm saying.
Well, I'm trying to think.
And Kelly said the same thing when she was in the group. Like, they would make me dance. Like, if you watch a lot of their live shows, they would tell Kelly to dance behind Beyonce and Michelle. So they, instead of them dancing straight across, they would dance at an angle. And it was always like you always saw that in groups. That's not new.
I need receipts.
But that's not new.
Documentation.
That's not new, especially in girl groups.
But nobody, dark skin or light skin, is gonna put Kelly behind Michelle. Michelle would not gonna play Michelle.
Michelle was like, she wasn't the prettiest, but in a group like that, it didn't matter. It was the same thing with Backstreet Boys and NSYNC.
And it mattered that she had the
blonde in
voice.
front and you put the dude with the black hair in the back. Don't forget, it was 5 of them, so it would be 1, 2, 3. Literally everybody that was in the back.
AJ was the dude in the back was overweight.
Later,
and he was the shortest.
So now we discriminate against short.
All I'm saying is that can we stick to the story? The girl groups. I know too much about these groups for this.
Well, okay, now technically, if you look at it, if you look at the dynamics of Dream Girls, that's what they pretty much the story they were telling is that because Effie was the amazing singer, but because Dina was pretty and light skinned, she was always the front person. That's kind of the story.
I remember that narrative.
And a bunch of people made that argument with ESPN. The chick, what's her name? She was on the Jamel Hill said the same thing. Like the spots that you would get. Don't forget, she's been doing this 17 years as a former athlete, but she couldn't do what Doris Burke did, or get the opportunity to do what Doris Burke did, or to get the opportunity to do what other people that doesn't have the experience that she has as an athlete. To be a reporter like that. The same thing with Taylor Rooks. Taylor Rooks graduated from school and took a job with Bleacher Report because they told her they didn't want to put her on the air at ESPN because she was black. They just wanted her to stay as a journalist. But if you look at ESPN and you look at all of the black women that left ESPN and they either now at Fox or they now at Bleacher Report, you see like ESPN is very consistent, especially in women anchors. Like on every single show in the morning, white woman, mixed woman, white woman, white, and they would mix them up. They used to mix them up and put them like during the playoff games or let them. They don't even do that no more. So it's not a white woman, White woman. But why? Is it that the black women aren't as experienced, or are they not qualified? No, because a lot of the black women that work at ESPN are all former athletes. All of them. Sarah Agumake, her and her twin sister both on ESPN now, but they won't let them report at the game. You put them in the studio. Why is that? Because the appeal.
I thought the studio was more high profile than being courtside than being at the game.
No. Doris Burke is at every single basketball game.
Every single.
Here's the thing. I'm not saying colorism isn't real. That doesn't exist at all. We were talking about two specific examples. I think it's kind of fraudulent, especially compared Kelly to Michelle.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna co-sign on that one, but
it is a hot mess for people to talk to their children like that, or to look at their children crazy like that. That to me is the part of that story that's just
especially ridiculous. if the baby daddy got brown eyes.
Okay.
Like, that's a genetic thing. 2 of Stephen Curry's kids have eyes exactly like him. That is a genetic thing. That white women make that argument with white men. If their husband does not have blue eyes, their child will not have blue eyes. It worked like that.
It's just 7th grade biologically, people. I personally think blue eyes is kind of creepy.
It is.
When I see him, I'm like,
it depends on who they are.
It's kind of demonic.
No, it's genetic. Genetically, it's not. Your eyes are not supposed to be blue, green, brown, or black. And even black eyes are very irregular to have.
I've seen graphic doesn't have
so brown eyes, green eyes, hazel eyes are usually the eyes that are when your iris, that part of your eye. If your eyes are blue, genetically there's something went wrong.
It's a defect.
Like something went wrong.
Yeah, and yet we honor.
So you mad because your baby don't got nothing wrong with it? You sound crazy. Why my baby don't got nothing wrong with it?
CPS kid.
I love you a little bit less now because you don't have nothing wrong with you. Shut up. And you say it live on Instagram?
Yeah.
Did you see what they did to her car? I didn't watch the video, but they were like,
what happened?
That was staged. I'm not.
Yeah, that's what they said. It was like the acting of this is terrible, but I didn't watch it.
So she's trying to Jussie Smollett herself?
That's what it seemed like. So they have this Ferrari. It's very nice, all black, and then they spray painted colorist on it, and then they walked outside. I was like, oh my god, somebody spray painted my car. I was like, you spray painted your car.
Yeah, I kept seeing people. What
is she a YouTuber for?
She's just pretty and popular.
She does what she's like a couple.
Does she call herself doing makeup? Does she call herself?
Is it like a couple
page?
Like how Queen
They're called the
whatever her
Prince
name
family.
is?
Yeah, I don't watch them. I don't. I have a life.
But here's the thing.
Okay.
This may be interesting to you. Do you know there's now like good summer camps for YouTube and social media camps? Do you think that's cool? Would you send the twins to a social media camp?
Where did I sign them up?
Really?
I would.
Really?
There's a 10-year-old somewhere. There's a 10-year-old somewhere putting on makeup, getting paid $1.5 million from YouTube. Yes. Where do I sign the twins up at?
Wow.
That's a new marketable skill.
That cute little girl from Instagram that did the little video.
You talking about her?
I got the water. Remember? She had 300,000 followers on Instagram and 130,000 followers on YouTube.
God, no, I can't even get Caleb to write his name at this point.
But if they were interested, you would put them on social media?
God, yes.
A lot of parents won't.
No, I don't care if they're interested or not. You're going to this camp. You're going to make.
Listen, I've heard the opposite.
You're going to this camp.
Parents.
So not science camp or writing camp or math camp or
basketball camp, robotics camp, engineering camp.
This is one of the few times I side with you. You were saying we need to change the skill sets. You are absolutely right. You're not going to sports camp. You're not going to ballerina camp. You're both going to YouTube camp. You're going to learn how to put on makeup. You're going to learn how to bounce the ball off a wall, up on the ceiling.
How to edit a video.
Yes, exactly. You learn how to edit a video. Yes, they're going. How much does the camp cost?
When
is the start date?
I don't know.
When is the start date?
You late. It's already
you're not in favor of this?
Well, hold on. Does your daughter have social media? Is she on social media? Could she be followed?
Hey, I'm going to fight you.
I was just asking. A lot of parents I've heard say the opposite. My kid can't have a social media account. My kid can't be on YouTube. My kid can't this and that.
I don't.
I'll put her like posting your kid on your page is one thing. Your child having their own Instagram page at 5 years old.
It kills me when they comment on the page like that's not them saying that.
Look,
what do you mean?
The only reason where in instances where it's acceptable is in music, because in music, like it's a little kid named Aaron the bassist. He's like 8.
Oh yeah, and little drummer boy.
And and the little drum from church, like when they play that, that's different because they spell words wrong. So I'm like, oh no, that's him. But he got like 194,000 followers on Instagram.
Here's what I don't like. I'm not a huge fan of the idea of being talentless and loving it. That's what I'm not a huge fan of.
What?
Like when people actually have a skill, like there's prodigies, musical prodigies on YouTube. Like, and that's a little white boy, Aaron, right? The bassist. There's kids that can literally like probably make a whole symphony, a whole album on themselves, and they do. That I like talent. Talent should be showcased, and I think that warrants attention.
But
your kid just getting on TV or getting on Instagram and talking about nothing, I don't think that's
point. I don't care.
He just
I don't care whether my kids are super talented or not. If I can get them to become a YouTube sensation, which the new craze seems to be babies having conversations with adults. There's a video with a little baby having a full conversation with his daddy, who is daddy like he may be 19, and he had a full conversation.
A grown man,
and
actually.
everybody, okay, 21. He had a whole conversation with him, and the internet went crazy.
And because she was pointing like they knew. I do that with my daughter. Like she be saying certain stuff, and I be like, yo, I don't know what you talk about, but I feel you though. But look at your man's on. I do that. I used to do that with her, so I get it. But it just went viral. Like it's one of those.
I was gonna say this is just a viral video. This is not a future. This is a viral video. Where is Charlie Bit Me? Where is he?
He's a grown adult.
Charlie Bit Me is on drugs. Bad.
That's because Charlie Bit Me parents got a bunch of money from him biting people.
Who is
and they know what to do with
I'm
it.
saying when you're trying to make your kids viral.
You remember Charlie Caucasian boy, and he was like something big.
What happened to Terrio?
It was I'm saying.
Fat little Terrio. Who? Fat little Terrio.
We watched Gavin grow up.
Look, I know you all have seen this.
Gavin.
So the internet has been watching Gavin.
Charlie. Right,
was he?
Huh?
Oh, never mind. I thought that was Charlie Bit Me.
Gavin is. The internet has been watching this kid grow, and he's been in China making appearances, making all kinds of money.
There lies in my point. So I don't care what the twins can do. They're going to YouTube.
Show me the black ones like that though.
What I'm saying is
that little girl.
All the time and energy that you're cultivating into this, he could be cultivated into something else.
That won't pay him half as much.
No, it may. It may.
A more certainty.
The most followed
right
people on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter to this day are still actual celebrities, actual authors, actual producers, actual singers, actual somebody.
That's fine, but the people on their heels are the people who can't sing, who can't dance, who can't write.
Don't aim for the heels. What?
So we're gonna be like the rest of us. We just established there's no middle class. So the rest of us gonna sit where?
Sure, but you could. But the highest that you should aspire is not a talentless, known individual. That is not the highest to which we should aspire to be.
If I get a paycheck from it.
While you have
we don't know what some of them can really do.
Time. Look, now, if you're 80 or 90 and all you can do, I mean, while you have time, you have time.
But this generation, and that's particularly the problem. Not just this generation, but when you tell your kids, you're the most beautiful thing in the world and you can do whatever you want. Don't lie to your kids like that. No, they can't. The world not set up like that. You're not always going to be the prettiest girl in the room. It don't work like that. It's always going to be somebody prettier, somebody taller, somebody faster, somebody that can jump higher.
Yeah, but you want to preserve their innocence and ideology.
The problem is that when they grow and you keep telling them the same thing and then they become adults and you keep telling them the same thing and you're still beautiful. No.
So what's the alternative? You tell them they're not beautiful?
No, you tell them the truth. You encourage them to be great. Don't just encourage them to be pretty. Because that's whack. If you only encourage little girls to just be pretty, they're going to be real dumb and pretty.
Hey, actually, there's a lot you can do about that.
What?
They make weaves, these lace fronts. Now you can get baby hairs right around here.
First of all, black people do not make that. The number one provider of wigs in the country is China. We don't make that stuff.
But we utilize
our hair.
Sure. We utilize the most.
Yeah, and we don't own none of it. So how dumb are we?
Look, if I can get me a nice lace front and get on in front of somebody's camera and make millions of dollars, hey, go for it.
Pretty is pretty.
Like my homegirl sell hair, but the lady that own the beauty supply store make way more money than her.
That's your, like you just said, that's your friend fault. She should learn how to make hair.
How?
The same way the Koreans do.
She know how to make wigs, but when you're the provider of
tell her to go the extra step and go down there and shave them horses.
It don't work like that.
You know what? We're gonna take a break, and when we come back, we got more about ball horses. We got more about ball horses and people making wigs on the leadership with their horse for Cardi Rice.
But you gonna pay her $15 an hour?
It's just
you better send overseas them little kids.
That's why I love the moon. Every night it's there for you. It's constant. Unlike these human beings who lie about what it seems to be. You think the earth is where you stand. You're in the palm of someone's hand. And that's why I love the moon, 'cause it's always there for me. Every night about my window. And that's why I love the moon, 'cause it's always there for me. Every single night I look outside, it's right there for me in my mind. And that's why I love the moon, yeah. Because people can consume my love in the wrong way, so I send it up at night, at night, at night. Real love so hard to find. Just when you think you found it, the illusions in your eyes, it blinds. So be careful where you look for love. Just be careful where you look for love. Real love so hard to find. Just when you think you found it, the illusions in your eyes, it blinds us all. So be careful where you look for love. Just be careful where you look for love.
Yo, that's why I let the moon shine. 'Cause through the time I've been confused on how to move. Stuck in between what wasn't and what could be the truth, huh? Still up trying to escape the demons in my room. You see, it's no chains dropping, we learn to maintain. Yo, and how could anybody else for pain when they brainwash us and watch us every time we make exchanges of slaves? Locked in a box and use our minds just to escape all the same. I'm tired of the pain, love is blind to the flame. That's why I look up, never hide behind the skies in the rain. Promises cooked up, exercising through denying the pain. That's why I look for ways to find whatever lies in the rain. 'Cause shit changed. I don't blame my father for lamping, I believe that help. What I'm trying to grow is just still trying to grow as myself. So understand it when I'm stranded, taking chances, know I need that full. Flat on my back, 'cause just relax and keep your seat back. 'Cause when you think, that's when you let time run and escape with your mind, loving, that's what you think. So what you think? If love was easy to find, we wouldn't need it to complete our lives. So
Peace to the moon, peace to the stars, peace to Saturn, and peace to Mars.
brushes against his, smooth on stubble for a moment, and then it's gone. He walks along the platform as if in a dream. Every fibre in me wants to shout and scream, stop, to run across to him and take him to tell him I love you. You silly, silly man, I love you. But instead I stand still, heart cracking. Those little curls on the back of his head bouncing as he steps out of my life. Whatever.
That the fire we both made still burns a little in you. I wrote to you every day. Did my letters find their way? Our memories on my screen, two lovers in this mystic dream. Baby, come back to me. Come back to me. Too much time on my phone. Baby, do you still sleep alone? Come back to me. Come back to me. Remember me. Fresh out of black and white. Movie on every screen. Would you realize what you meant to me? Or was it mystery? Remember me, fresh out of black and white. Movie on every screen. Would you realize what you meant to me? Or was it mystery? I heard that you moved somewhere far away. Is your number the same as before? I can't ignore the time may have changed your ways. Does my record still hang on your wall? Such a sentimental way to groove. I hope it still touches you. Baby, come back to me. Come back to me. It kills me to see you leave. So I came home and made this beat. Baby, come back to me. Come back to me.
All right, buddy, we are back on this Monday edition of the Leadership Blend with your host, Ricardo D. Rice, and my correspondents,
Jazz,
Kyle Andrew,
Simone Cherie,
Double R.
Nasia.
All right, so when we left, we were talking about the colorism, and I'm going to shift real quick. So we've talked about the prison system and just crazy things, and I think the last thing we talked about was the guy being stabbed and dragged into the yard and kind of left there, and they didn't show any paramedics or anything coming to get him, and he died in the courtyard of a jail prison. So in the family of a Milwaukee man who died of dehydration after jailers shut off water to his cell has been paid $6.75 million in a settlement with the county and others, an attorney for the man's estate said. Terrell Thomas died April 24, 2016 after being deprived of water for 7 days. In a 2017 inquest, inmates testified that they heard the 38-year-old begging for water for days, and jail officials said they were unaware the water to his cell had been turned off. 3 county officials have since been sentenced to jail, according to local reports. Wow. So have we gotten there now that we turned off water to inmates?
I've seen worse. There's this show on A&E that I watched called 60 Days In, and there was it's about where these people that's never been to jail before, they go in. Yeah, they go into jail for 60 days, and there was an episode where the jail, they had some kind of flood, and it was just feces, and the prisoners were literally in a room with feces for like 2 or 3 days, and that's just disgusting. So yeah, I'm not surprised that that happened in the jail. I'm glad they got the money that they did, though.
Well, okay, so Thomas, who was a victim, was arrested on April 15, 2016 and charged with reckless endangerment and felony firearm violations after he fired shots in a casino, according to court documents. He reportedly suffered from a mental disorder. All charges were dismissed after his death. After Thomas was placed in his cell, he stopped up his toilet, causing the cell to flood. Letitia Koshka Metters of Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office had Thomas moved to another cell and ordered that his water be cut off. She testified during the 2017 inquest. It should have been the toilet water, just the toilet water, she said.
That's gonna be on her grave. It was just supposed to be the toilet water.
Her tombstone.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, go to jail, Sheldon.
This is easy to do because, in some ways, because the state departments of corrections run all these facilities, and they have very little oversight. They have very little people that have to be accountable to. By the time something makes its way from, like, imagine how many jails there are, makes its way from there to wherever it's supposed to go to. Even requests for, like, hygiene products, it takes weeks. Like, if they're missing something in that jail, something's wrong in that jail, it could take a very long time for anybody on the outside to learn it. You know what I mean? Like, there's no constant level of communication between inmates and the outside world. It's just whoever they know. So messages don't get out. When people have needs, those needs don't get met. You know, in Puerto Rico, those inmates practically drowned. Like, their cells were filling up with water, and they did get everybody out, but they were literally waist deep in water from Hurricane Maria.
Yeah, the problem is that in jail, see, they usually have everything you need in jail, and they refuse to give it to you because you're in jail. So, like, what they do, and just from experience, so people believe, like, with the Gatorade. So they tell you that it's just Gatorade. It's not Gatorade. It's like a light food, like a light lemonade type of substance, and they put something in it. It actually comes in that pack. I forgot the name of the drug, but it keeps men from getting a wreck while they in jail. They put that in your drink, and they don't tell you because they don't have to, because you're in jail. They have the right to do that. Mm-hmm. With the food, they pre-make food at the beginning of the week. So, like, when they tell people, like, with the sandwiches and all that stuff, when they tell you not to eat it, don't eat it, because they pre-make sandwiches at the beginning of the week, and they'll serve those sandwiches for 2-3 days, and they just keep them in the fridge, and it's bologna.
Yeah, whatever they tell you, they probably
and
are right.
Bologna, when you take it out the package and you just leave it in a sack like that, ain't no telling what's going on with the I don't eat bologna, but stuff like that with food. But they keep all of that stuff in jail. Like the food, when if you ever go and visit a jail and you go to the kitchen, no, they got real food in the kitchen. Everybody just can't have none. Mm-hmm. And it worked like that. Like, they got deodorant and toothbrushes and toothpaste and towels and rags and socks and clothes. They got all that stuff in jail. But you in jail. One guy give you nothing. Mm-hmm. You're not obligated to get these things that you get on the outside world.
They put in the comments saying you have to.
And another big thing to
they got snacks.
This guy had a mental condition. He had a mental illness. That's another big thing about the story that's crazy, because there are states in which you cannot be found guilty of the actions that you commit if you have a proven or a diagnosed mental illness. That doesn't mean that you won't have to receive treatment or there won't be some sort of court-ordered something. But the fact that he had a condition is kind of crazy that he even ended up there in the first place. And they said that that condition is what prevented him from kind of communicating that he was dehydrating. So, yeah, I'm surprised it's not. They definitely knew they were going to get a settlement. The second they knew that he had a condition, they should have known that they were going to be sued.
How much they got? 7
million.
Yeah, 7.
Yeah. But it's crazy what can happen to you. Like this. So I watched When They See Us. I watched that documentary, and a big thing that people were talking about with that documentary on Netflix, Ava DuVernay's documentary, is that the boys were so young, like they were 14, etc. when they were interviewed. Even though you're supposed to have a parent with you.
Interrogated. They was interrogated.
They were interrogated.
That
yeah,
wasn't an interview.
Without a parent.
And got sentenced. To jail time.
Even one who was not, Corey in particular, Corey Wise, who was not even on their radar and just said, look, I'm going to go with you because I don't want your mom to come down on me for not going with you. And then he ended up getting more time than anybody else. Jesus. So, word to just everybody. Do not ever talk to an officer. Ever. Just get a lawyer. The only word you should ever say is lawyer, 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 lawyer. You should never feel like, well, I'm just going to have a conversation with the officer, or he just wants to ask me a couple questions. I don't care if it's how are you, lawyer. I need a lawyer.
Even if they pull you over.
Get a lawyer.
Sir, can I see your ID, lawyer?
I'm not kidding. Lawyer. You need a lawyer because you don't know what your rights are. You don't know what you're getting into. And by the time somebody says, I need you to come on down to the station with me, there's a case again. There could be a case against you. Something could have been in the works for months. and you just now finding out.
And in Georgia, it's even more trash because these cops don't talk. They don't talk to each other. Like, I got pulled over in Warner Robins, and the cop told me, he said, "Yeah, man, I'm gonna need you to step out of the car." I said, "You need me to step out of the car for what?" "It says you're licensed owner. You need you to step out of the car. I need you to tell me where your gun is. Tell me about your ammunition. Do you have anything in the head of the gun? You tell me if you got any more weapons. You tell me." Hey, look, man. As soon as I took my seatbelt off, it's 4 more cars. Now, this state patrol, Georgia State Patrol, they don't care nothing about nothing. Because they whip up on you crazy. Like, in Warner Robins, all the trucks pass through Warner Robins to travel south. They whip up right in the lane, because I'm on that shoulder. They whip up around my car, surround the car. Hey, sir, we need you to get out the car. I get out the car. I'm like, hey, cuz, what y'all got going on? What y'all got going on? Yeah. Hey, you see my hands? My hands is up. It ain't nothing in my hands. He say, so I need you to step on this side. I say, no, I'm going to go stand on the highway. Because y'all ain't about to shoot me over here in the cut like I did.
Look, like nobody can see me. Okay. Nah. Yeah.
What was the
it don't matter.
Basis?
It don't matter.
They want 6 cars for every black person they got to pull over. At
least does not matter. Yeah. He said that I was speeding. Then 4 cars sped past him.
It's just
and then when I got to my people house, they was like, "Nah, you got a Mustang, bro. They gonna pull you over down here." Yeah. They say anytime that anybody, if they assume somebody's speed and they call look fast, they gonna pull you over. I said, what? Yeah. Say, and you black, and this Warner Robins.
Yeah,
Warner Robins is military town, all that. So yeah, I can see
Chargers too. Yeah. The system is slow, so it's just like the last thing out of that documentary. The takeaway for me was once they find out that the men were innocent, it took 6 months to get out. 6 months is a long time when people know that you're about to leave some. Like just thinking about like your environment and the stuff that he went through. He went through a lot of abuse in prison. That was enough time for him to kick the bucket. Like there's people who have literally had a release date and died. Yeah, and been jumped or shanked before. That
they said he stole a bag. The young boy they made
Khalif Browder.
Yeah. And they told him he was getting out, and it took months for him to get out of jail.
Yeah, and that was after. So it's a process. If you ever find yourself in the system, it's a long process. I'm sure even if he was out of water, whenever they would have found out, he would have been very close to dying if he didn't pass because everything takes so long. There's just no oversight.
All right, so on our last note, I want to give everybody a little good news. So, agency officials voted to give wireless carriers the okay to block unwanted robocalls automatically for customers.
Does this also mean text messages? Because I've been getting texts lately.
I don't know about that.
Look,
go ahead though.
Apparently, Americans get about 5 billion robocalls a month. One industry estimate says now it's up to the wireless carriers to decide they want to do this as their default. But they are concerned that some may charge customers to block the calls. Do you care if they charge you to block robocalls?
Yes, but my phones are do not disturb anyway, so I don't get the calls.
I get them a lot.
My calls are automatically silenced unless you're on my favorites list. So you cannot contact me.
I couldn't do that. Like I couldn't.
So you saying you ain't gonna pick up the phone?
If my phone's are do not disturb, I won't see it.
All right.
I'll call you back. All right. I'll call you back.
No, everybody heard it. But everybody heard it, Kyle.
Who do you get calls from though? Where do yours come from?
Huh?
Where do your robocalls come from?
Apparently, everybody moved to South Carolina. 843 all of a sudden. No, I'm scared to answer the calls.
That's a patch number.
That's what?
They want to match your zip code. I mean, your area code. They do it on purpose. But mine are always from, like, insurance. Like, we got cheaper insurance, or we got you this, or we got you that, or, like...
Well, it's that, and Datagate. Apparently, it's the car warranty thing.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. How many times have I told them no, and I just blocked them? And then they find a new number, and then they call me.
They find a new one, like,
they
have 20.
That's Datagate. They see you look at something on Facebook or Instagram.
Oh, yeah. And then you have the little Facebook surveys, like, you can win this, blah, 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 blah. That's the text messages that I've been getting lately.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, that's so annoying. I don't know. It just randomly started happening. Okay, great, Kyle.
I'm just wondering what great important
Kyle just be letting us know he's better than us every episode.
I'm having a conversation.
Nah, I don't get that. I'm better than y'all. Like, no, I ain't.
Well, Kyle's wealthy. So here's the thing. If you have money.
Oh, wait a minute. Actually, shouts out to actually interact with your mom. She commented on Facebook. I was like, wait. And I was like, I looked at y'all. I was like, oh, this is his mom.
Yeah.
You didn't see it?
I don't get on Facebook.
You need to go on Facebook.
Okay.
Your mom,
He doesn't get those either.
Clearly. God, what do you get? Your mom, me and her had a nice conversation. You need to go on your graduation pics that I put up on my page, and we had a nice conversation. Your mom's a lovely woman. I've never met her in person, but she's a lovely woman.
Yeah, shout out to Debs. I love her.
All right, everybody, final thoughts really quickly. Jazz?
I don't have any.
Well, that's classy.
I don't.
I don't really have any final thoughts. More of an announcement. Thanks to Ricardo, we will be at the red carpet for the Bobby DeBarge film.
Yeah, I didn't know Bobby was a thing.
Yeah.
I thought it was L, but we're gonna find out who Bobby is for TV One. So we'll be at the
that's
Woodruff Arts Center tomorrow at 5:30, and this is Kyle's first red carpet. So we're gonna see. I figure it's time. He graduated from 2 schools to do this, and I figure it's about time for him to do it. So we'll be on the red carpet along with I think CJ from Degrees and Chuck Tees is going with us as well. So it'll be the 3 of us out there getting interviews, but it'll be primarily Kyle because I'm just gonna be there to be cute. So just wanted to put that disclaimer out there. Simone, any final thoughts?
Yeah, I want to recommend a documentary to everybody. Watch the Clarence Avant documentary on Netflix, you guys. It's awesome. It's incredible. It's called The Black Godfather. You'll learn something that you didn't know that you already knew. And if you haven't seen When They See Us, and if you can handle it, watch the first and the 4th one.
Stop telling people to skip stuff.
Watch the beginning and the end. It's definitely worthwhile. There's something I knew the case myself, but there's something I didn't know. There was a lot I could grasp from it. So if you can't stand the whole 4 hours, watch the first and the 4th.
Double R.
They tripping with the reparation, y'all.
Oh, good.
Oh, his reparation.
I'm just saying they tripping with the reparation. If you haven't read it, it's called HR 40. Do your research. They're about to pay 10 people $16 million to research reparations. So I need to try to get on that committee.
Good guy. For the new intern, thoughts on today's show?
I enjoyed the show. Thank you all for having me, and I'm looking forward to Friday.
Hey.
All right, there you have it. So we will see you guys on Friday, same time, same place at 3:30. You can head over to the Now Network to watch my television show, the Leadership Blend TV show. Check your local listing for channels. And we'll see you on Friday, same place, same time on the Leadership Blend with your host, Ricardo D. Rice.
They said my phone's getting treated.